Welcome to the Icon Voice Network's demonstration of the PIMphony Attendant software for the Alcatel-Lucent Omni PCX Office. We're going to take you through the application as well as generate some inbound and outbound call traffic so you can see not only the application but call handling as well as station management that is inherent in this software. First of all, the software can link to multiple databases. So as you can see here, we have a personal list, which is names and phone numbers that are manually entered into the software, a telephone directory, which is the directory programmed into the phone system, usually at installation. We can find a name within Outlook, Goldmine, ACT, and many others. And we can also utilize LDAP for finding the name of users that we would like to click to dial. We can enter those personal list names and numbers simply by going to the personal list icon, typing in their name, typing in their phone number, and clicking Save. We'll go ahead and cancel out of that. And the next area we'll take a look at is the call log. The call log gives me specific information on where calls were forwarded, where calls were answered by a different extension, where calls were abandoned, and where voicemails might have been left for particular users. So as you can see here, we can scroll down a little bit. We'll see that there was a voicemail left here. Call was transferred out. Now, of course, I can click and dial any of these users, and I can go ahead and terminate that call as well. I can sort that information. I can sort based on the user. I can also delete particular files or delete all of the history. And of course, click to dial built in. Makes it very easy for me to take a look at what's going on in the history of the phone system. Next up, we have the voicemail. As you can see, my voicemail window gives me the history in unread. So if I had listened to one of these, it would no longer be bold, just like emails. As you can see, I can play the selected message. I can record a new message and send it to other users. I can forward a selected message to other users. It actually creates a distribution list, so I can either record or send a message out to other folks. I can forward that message with a vocal comment, so I can add a little bit of information to the front of the voicemail. I can delete it, and of course I can click to dial. So it makes it very easy for me to manage my voicemails. We can also put the voicemail icon down here in the tool tray so that you'll know when you have new messages there as well. So pretty straightforward utilization of the voicemail application. We're going to skip the next button and come back to it, but next up is statistics. Statistics gives you all of the call traffic information, so inbound, outbound, duration, groups, extensions, so you can get all the utilization of your phone system. And it exports it as a comma delimited or CSV file. So you pick a date range and then export it. Now the other thing you can do here is you can actually delete history as well, so that allows you to free up space on a hard drive. Let's say you've got a couple of years worth of data and you'd like to go ahead and just delete last year's because you've already downloaded all of it. So this helps keep the hard drive running and keeps it from getting cluttered up with a lot of statistical information. The next button you'll see here are all my forwarding rules. So as you can see, I've got a set of 4 buttons on the far right side that are all yellow. Different forwarding states: when I'm busy, do not disturb, individuals, and I can select them from here. We can go ahead and cancel forwarding from here as well, so we'll go ahead and do that. And as you can see, we've covered most of the tools in the tray except for this guy right here. This supervision key is extremely handy. This is what allows me to see the status of other phones in the system. So as you can see here, there's Jeff calling the operator. The operator phone is ringing. When the operator takes that call, you can see there it moves up into the tray, and I can go ahead and place him on hold. I can also transfer him. You'll notice that Kathy Burns pre-populated. I previously had transferred this call to, or this extension to Kathy Burns, and the phone system is smart enough that it's trying to give you information or prompt you with where that call might go. So it helps your attendant move calls through faster because it remembers where that call went last time. We'll go ahead and put that call on hold. We can grab the call again. We can transfer the call. We can transfer the user's voicemail. Off that goes. So as you can see, we have a lot of call control features built in right at default. Now you'll notice a few extra grayed out icons down here for Kathy Burns. That's because in settings we can add more phone numbers, so we don't have to just transfer to their voicemail, but we can do various other settings on the phone. First of all, we can control the name, whether the phone is locked, reset the password, and what email address should be associated with that phone. So that gives me the ability to change a phone if we have employee turnover. Next, I can add other numbers that can be transferred with one click, so up to 4 additional numbers. I can restrict that call for long distance or even international calling, or even local area codes if I don't want them to call. And nomadic rights is what allows me to pair a desk phone with a mobile phone. That does require a license and may or may not be available on your system. And of course, settings, I can change the forwarding of the phone as well, so I can go ahead and unforward a phone from the Attendant console. So it gives me some administrative privileges. You can see here, Cherie's phone is forwarded. These are virtual extensions, so maybe they just have a voicemail, or I've got a speed dial for them off premise. And as you can see, when they make calls between them, you can see as they go off hook, they go ringing. All those different features are represented by the icons next to the user. So I can click to dial. I've got my 10-digit dials, internal intercom, click to redial, so last number redial, or I can go through my call list here and click a few back. Of course, if I go into my call log, I can go even further back. So these are all programmable. I have multiple programmable features here. You'll want to speak with your installing distributor about the different features and how they might best work within your system. All my forwarding features are over here. And then I have a few other tabs. The call board. This gives me updates on the last calls. I can click to dial or right-click and get more information. And I also have the ability down here, I can break this out to, I have groups. So here's my sales group. I just want to look at them versus I want to look at all users versus I want to look at my alphabetical directory versus looking at multiple sites if I have phone systems networked together. And I can do up to 10 systems networked together. So let's go ahead and have a few calls. We're going to make a call here. So we've got our first call that's actually on. And now I'm going to actually generate a call as well from an outside line, as well as have another internal caller in the system. So as you can see, I'm talking with David. Now I'm going to go ahead and place him on hold. I've got an on hold icon there. I'm going to make another call to my operator. We'll go ahead and we'll take that. It's a ringing call. So there we go. David's on hold. Jeff's on hold. And now I've got an outside call. The caller ID is hidden, and that call is ringing, and I can answer it. You can see there's my transfer. I can place that call on hold. I can juggle between them. Pretty straightforward as far as call usage and migration goes. Makes it very easy for me to be able to move calls, reconnect calls, place them on hold, and even terminate the call. So as you can see here, I'm just going to go through, hang up on all those calls, and we're back to our default state. You can hear in the background some calls that are in their off hook because the call's been terminated. And it's pretty straightforward. I can start typing in a name or a number and it'll try and pre-populate. The favorites tries to pre-populate transfers and what you did last with that particular caller ID. So the phone system is actually working with you to predict where you're headed, as well as being able to see the status of individual users and change that phone without having to reach out to a technician to change the name or the voicemail or reset it on a system. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of the strength of the PIMphony Attendant software. It's more than just your operator, it's also a management tool. And if you'd like more information, please reach out to us at iconvoicenetworks.com or reach out to your local Icon installing distributor, and we'd be more than happy to walk you through or actually allow you to have even a free demo on your existing system. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.